Hey guys, your boy Shaw Bellamy back with you another episode of Philly Eagles Talk here on my Eagles Fly channel. And with free agency technically beginning, I know the deals are, the signings and everything, deals that teams make with players, free agents or for unrestricted free agents is official on Wednesday. But at this time, teams are allowed to talk to players, get verbal agreements, and here and there, and like I said, technically sign these dudes during this time until, like I said, Wednesday they can sign on the dotted line and make it official. So obviously here on my channel, anything Philadelphia Eagles news, I am going to talk about, and there was a few things that happened today with us. So I'm going to go over here for a bit on this episode of Philly Eagles Talk. The first thing that happened is Philadelphia Eagles signed a pass rusher, Hasan Reddick, on a 3-year deal. I think the 3-year deal was worth $45 million. Don't quote me on that, but I'm sure that's what it was. But what I've heard about this dude, I'm be honest, I never heard of Hasan Reddick. Obviously, I'm a huge football fan, but I know that sounds like a casual thing to say. I'm not saying he's terrible or anything, but I haven't watched a lot of. He used to play for the Carolina Panthers. We got him from Carolina. He was a free agent. He was a Carolina Panther, but now he's a free agent. He got signed to us. So again, I didn't watch a bunch of Carolina Panthers games. But what I've heard is he's a very good pass rusher, gets to the quarterback very well, and that's what the Philadelphia Eagles definitely need. I think this was you could argue, a good signing by Howie Roseman. We absolutely needed to buff up our pass rush. Our pass rush was not as dominant as it has been years prior to this year, this past season, where it seemed like we could not get any pressure on the quarterback at all. That probably, Brandon Graham was out with injuries, so that kind of played a part, you could argue, but it was just, there was just times with guys we out there was not getting to the rush to quarterback as much as we were used to. So adding a guy like Hasan Reddick, which I've heard from Panthers fans that it was a great signing. You listen to experts, the analysts, they're saying this is a good signing by the Philadelphia Eagles, so I'm pretty happy with that. What I've heard is he can play, I got in my notes here, he could play the edge, and he could play the Sam role, which is a strong side linebacker, and so they said he's decent at dropping in coverage, and he could he could pass rush very well, and he's decent at dropping in coverage. So everyone's kind of throwing out what they think the Eagles are going to do with him. They think it's interesting how he's going to work in Gannon's defense. But I'm hoping the Philadelphia Eagles keeps it simple and just allows him to be a pass rusher. And we work on getting a linebacker in the draft, which I'll go over later in this episode as far as what I want for the rest of this free agency and in the draft with this offseason continuing for Philadelphia. The other news was Alex Singleton, our linebacker, I think he was our best tackling linebacker as far as, or at least the most tackles. Linebacker Alex Singleton, he will be an unrestricted free agent. The Philadelphia Eagles did not pick up his tender or whatever they call it, the tendering, whatever the hell they call it. But we did not pick up a deal, whatever, with him. So right now he's unrestricted free agent. This does not mean he can't come back to Philadelphia. Like, we decide to maybe bring him back, but this does allow other teams to start pitching, calling his agent, calling him like, hey, we can give you this much, and kind of pinch you, take you away from the Philadelphia Eagles if he's ready to go. So yeah, as far as Alex Singleton, I like Alex Singleton. I think he plays with a lot of heart. He plays hard as hell. But will I be pissed off if we let him go? Not really. I guess I will say, I won't say maybe. I'm not trying to say I don't like the guy, because he, like I say, wasn't one of the consistent guys on our team, like I said, that was tackling. The one thing he had in common, though, with all our linebackers, and why the Eagles need a complete reset when it comes to linebackers, is coverage. Our linebackers could not cover anybody to save their lives. It was just easy pickings going up against Philadelphia, the Eagles last season, when you went up against our linebackers. They looked incompetent. They looked like they did not know what the hell to do on the field, no matter even crossing routes. Anything that was going on against the Eagles defense, you were attacking. If you're an opposing offense, you were attacking that linebacking core. And Alex Singleton was one of those dudes. It's not like he was a good coverage guy. He was a guy that got beat just like the rest of those linebackers. Like I said, though, I will say in the running game, he's really good at tracking the ball carry and everything. So he's not, like I say, he's not a horrible linebacker. But if we lost him, I'm not going to cry overnight about it. Like, this ain't a Pro Bowl or anything like that. I think the Eagles need a complete reset. maybe sign a veteran linebacker from free agency, and also draft one of those first-round draft picks we got. They need a complete overhaul with the linebacking corps. That should be one of their main focuses for the rest of this offseason. So as far as the news, you guys said we signed a pass rusher and Hasan Reddick, and we also let Alex Singleton go at this point to be an unrestricted free agent. As far as, like I said, what I want for the rest of this free agency, and for us free agency, I want us to go get a tall wide receiver, a veteran guy. I know people say we can look at guys in the draft. I am 100% looking at a wide receiver in the draft. It's probably the second or third round. But I want a dude in the free agency, a tall wide receiver that can play alongside Devontae Smith, and you let Quez Watkins play in the slot. That's all I want as far as on the offense, dude. I honestly do not want us to sign another small receiver to line up beside Devontae Smith. It has been too damn long. The Eagles have not had a tall guy, a dude that can go up and get 50-50 passes and everything like that. Devontae Smith is a guy that can do that, but he's not that big. We could be using Devontae Smith for other things, and we need an actual deep threat, or like I said, if anything, a tall veteran to go out there. There is plenty of wide receivers out there as far as I looked at the free agency pool at this point. So there's no excuse why obviously we can't get everybody, but there's no excuse, I'm saying, that we should not hear any type of reports that Howie never made a call to this guy or this guy. There is plenty of receivers out there that the Eagles could at least try to get through free agency before we even have to look at the draft. Again, besides the other moves I think we should make, like I said, go try to get a veteran linebacker if it's in the cards, if the money's right. Try to get a veteran linebacker to plug into the defense. I don't think there's any corners that we really can grab in free agency. I don't think in the free agency pool. I don't think the free agency pool in the cornerbacks is anything crazy. But nonetheless, what I'm trying to say is in the draft, so those are what I want: linebacker and receiver for free agency. Then I'll be okay going into the draft. With those 3 first-round draft picks, dude, we need to draft defense. I want to draft defense with those 3 first-round picks. Get a cornerback. We need someone to line. We need a first-round corner to line up beside the Darius Slay. I'm sorry. We just need to really try to get a young stud. I don't care where you got to find them. Try to get a young stud in the first round playing the cornerback position. Then go linebacker and then get a pass rusher again. Those are the 3 things we should be looking at, those 3 draft picks. I don't care what order you get it in, but you get defensive line, linebacker, corner. Those are the main 3 things I'm looking at when it comes to those 3 first-round draft picks. Howie Roseman should not be looking to trade any of those draft picks unless something great has to be coming our way for him to trade any of those draft picks away. But if he holds on to them, I'm okay with that 100%. Just go draft defense, yo. I'm not saying our offense is all set, but the defense, our defense, we really need to clean up our secondary, our linebacking core definitely, and definitely, like I said, a little more on the defensive line front. If I had to choose between the 3, as far as importance, I think defensive line, like I said, needs to be better, but it's not the number 1 issue on that defense. It's linebackers number 1 and corner is definitely second. Those 2 freaking positions is frustrating as hell to watch last season. So like I said, I think the Eagles could definitely get a solid wide receiver, a veteran dude through free agency, so we don't have to use those first round picks on a wide receiver. We should use that on, like I said, defense should be the main focus for the draft. And then through the free agency, we try to clean up the defense a little bit. Like I said, we get a linebacker, but also try to get a veteran wide receiver as well. So that's it, you guys. Again, the news is the Eagles signed Hasan Reddick, a pass rusher for a 3-year deal, letting Alex Singleton, one of our linebackers, at this point walk and look out for other options for himself. So again, anything that comes up, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I'm out, you guys. Peace.